How does anarcho-capitalism envision future governance? Imagine a society where no one calls the shots and everyone is free to make their own rules. That's the core idea behind anarcho-capitalism. It's a bold way of thinking about how we could organize ourselves without a government. Instead of a central authority, private companies and individuals would handle everything from security to justice. In this vision, security and law enforcement are provided by private defense agencies. These agencies would compete for clients, much like businesses compete for customers today. People would choose which agency to contract with based on reputation, price, and quality. Courts and dispute resolution would also be run by private arbitration firms, which would create their own rules and standards. These firms would evolve based on what people want and need, not on government mandates. The legal system in this setup would come from three main sources. First, the non-aggression principle would be the foundation, meaning no one can initiate force against another. Second, courts would develop laws through decisions made by competing arbitration companies. Third, property owners could set their own rules for visitors or tenants through voluntary contracts. This way, laws are flexible and adapt to local needs and preferences. When it comes to services like roads, healthcare, or education, anarcho-capitalists believe the market would do a better job than government. Private companies would build roads, run schools, and provide medical care. Competition would push these providers to improve quality and lower costs, just like businesses do today. Without taxes or government monopolies, these services could become more efficient and innovative. The system relies on contracts that people and companies would enforce themselves. Because these interactions happen repeatedly, everyone has an incentive to keep their promises. If someone breaks a contract, they risk losing future business or reputation. Without a government holding a monopoly on violence, people would respect each other's rights to protect ongoing relationships and avoid conflict. At its heart, anarcho-capitalism emphasizes individual sovereignty and voluntary association. Society would be built on free exchanges, not on coercion or political authority. Libertarians see the state as inherently unethical because it claims a monopoly on violence and takes money through taxes. They argue that private institutions could provide order more ethically and efficiently. Implementing this system would be a big shift. It would need a cultural change and a population that understands how these private institutions work. Some suggest it might start in regions with weaker governments or where people are more open to new ideas. The idea is that over time, voluntary communities could form, replacing traditional government structures. Some critics say that without government, inequalities could grow or monopolies might still form. But anarcho-capitalists argue that free markets naturally prevent this because competition keeps prices and power in check. They believe that voluntary efforts and community standards would also help prevent extreme wealth gaps. Overall, this vision rests on the belief that human cooperation, driven by self-interest and reputation, can maintain order without coercion. It's a radical idea, but one rooted in the hope that society can be organized more ethically and efficiently through free markets and voluntary agreements. Whether it could work at a large scale remains debated, but it offers a different way to think about the future of liberty and governance.